I just want to welcome everybody in. I hope that you're doing well. Today is going to be a good conversation piece. It's going to be a good conversation piece. But before I go into that, I want to definitely say if you are available on Wednesday, this Wednesday coming up, the time is going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have the one and only Professor Kwame is going to be with me. We're going to be talking. He just returned from the continent of Africa earlier this week. No, last week. Last week he just got back, and he and I, along with various other brothers, are going to be on. So if you want to partake in that, if you want to even be on the panel, look, hey. If you want to be on the panel, you're certainly welcome to be on the panel. We're going to be discussing quite a bit of things regarding Freemasonry, African culture, African customs. The whole thing is going to be centered around the African diaspora. So look, it's going to be interesting. Again, this is going to be Wednesday. I'm going to have the one and only Professor Kwame is going to be with me, Kumba. And I'm excited. I'm excited. And hopefully you can join us also. So please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the like button. Join us Wednesday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to make it happen for you. So today, our conversation is going to be, do you know who you are? Regarding the Eastern Star and Freemasonry. And I asked the question based upon two fundamental questions that I asked in regards to every Mason and every Eastern Star. So the first question that is asked is, are you a member of the Order of the Eastern Star? Singular. Okay. The next question is going to be, how shall I know you to be a Mason? Singular. So in asking those poignant questions, you have to ask yourself, do you know who you are? And speaking to the sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star, singular, one group, not several, but one, okay? Their question is going to be answered the same no matter where you go in the United States. That's going to be the same answer, okay? So if you are a member of the Order of the Eastern Star and someone asks you that question, are you a member of the Order of the Eastern Star? You should know that answer without even blanking. And I'm not going to give it here. And I'm just bringing up that point of view is because a lot of times we forget that it is an individual journey. Not a group journey, but an individual journey. So in understanding those 5 points and where those 5 points originated from and the origin of those 5 points, then it would help you to get a better understanding of why those 5 points or that 5-pointed star was accepted to be placed amongst the emblem for the Order of the Eastern Star. As I was on here about a week ago, there was individuals talking about the Druids and how that is an ancient symbol. The Eastern Star emblem is an ancient symbol. It's older than 1850. So when going back and taking a look at that ancient symbol, you can find out why. You can actually find out why it was actually selected to be amongst one that represented the Order of the Eastern Star. When you are able to gather the understanding of something, it becomes a lot more easier for you to understand it. Although we may say that these stars represent the 5 principles of womanhood, not just those 5 ladies that you may find out of the Bible, but they actually represent the 5 principles steps of womanhood. It does. You just got to check and read what each lady brought to that point at a time in her life. It is the stages of a woman as she goes from a daughter, or may I say a friend, a daughter, a wife, a mother, a widow. Those are those steps that one goes through in life. However, we do know that along the course of times, things change. So the Order of the Eastern Star went from just being that of those individuals who was amongst who was related to the Masons, and then they started bringing in individuals outside of that. Hear me again. It went from being representative of those individuals who was related to the Mason, and it became more of those being brought into the order from the outside. The same thing as far as the Freemasons are concerned. And we spoke briefly about this some time ago, and how becoming a Mason was a rite of passage. And although those of us who understand that women Freemasons, and I said it, have always been around, however, when you're here in the States, you don't see that. But when you go outside of states, they don't have the Eastern Stars. So you have to be able to navigate that passage, that road, okay? Because go back, I would tell any brother of a Freemason, go back and read your Master's Mason obligation. Really read it. It says something in there that is very pertinent to thought. I won't repeat it here, but for those of you who are members of the Freemasons, go back and read it and see what it says. It says something about about a female, but the way it is interpreted, it has totally been misinterpreted. And I say that because I had to go back and read it for myself. And I was like, oh, in that obligation, it doesn't deny that there are female existence. It clearly just says that you will not be at the making a female a Mason. Plain and simple. That's what it says. Go back and read that. So as you gather that information, you're going to begin to see things from a different point of view other than that which has been always presented to you. And that's the thing I would tell each of you to do. On your daily journeys, when you are cracking those books open, look beyond where you're at and look at the whole system of it. And it took me some time to get there. This didn't happen overnight for me. It did not happen overnight. However, in looking at it and judging it from where I'm at right now, I'm like, okay, I have a better understanding of the craft. I have a better understanding of the Sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star. And before I forget, for those of you who are in Texas right now, I know a storm have come through Texas, and I know Texas is a big place, but down in Houston, that area, Belmont, Texas, Jasper, Texas, and that surrounding area, I want to just definitely remind and to keep you in prayer, knowing that there's a lot happening. I know a lot of you are without electrical power at this time. So please, brothers of the craft, sisters of the order, let's remember those brothers and sisters that are down in Texas who may need some assistance or whatever it may look like. And if you're able to lend a hand, please do, because a lot of things are happening down there in Texas right now with that storm. Please check in on each other, make sure everyone is well. With that being said, we're going to get back to talking about, do you know who you are? To the Sisters of the Eastern Star, when you study the works of the Eastern Star beyond a Christian point of view, let's go beyond the Christian point of view. Do you know who you are? Do you recognize this symbol? Even in places that you may realize that, no, I don't think. Do you recognize that symbol? Do you take that symbol and have a better understanding of it and why it is and why it was selected to be the emblem for the Order of the Eastern Star? That is something we have to actually start doing. a lot of us are still without power at this moment. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's my hope and prayer that somewhere along the line that they will be able to restore that power soon. I have some brothers down that way who informed me that a tree had fell on part of his home. A tree had fell on his neighbor's house, and this is that time. If you're going to really stand on something and be about something as far as humanity is concerned, as far as the brotherhood and sisterhood is concerned, this is that time to show the extension of a Mason of an Eastern Star. If you're in Texas, this is that opportunity. This is not about your jurisdiction. This is where the brotherhood and sisterhood should really come to life. Okay? If you're down in Texas and you are or a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, this is that time that should actually come together. Absolutely. It's that time that this should actually come together. I don't know why some of us get so hung up on different things, but I tell you, the calamity in life and things like this should really draw you close to each other. So it is my hope that you're doing well. Greetings, Brother Hawkins. Brother Pitts, how you doing, Brother Pitts? It's good to hear from you. So as we gather this information up regarding who we are as Masons, as Eastern Stars, it should come very easy and simple to you how to carry and to be. It should become very easy, very simple. You should be able to remove those boundaries that set you up for failure. Hear me again. You should be able to remove those boundaries that set you up for failure. Absolutely. If I tell you that I'm going to remember my brother with no name, just my brother, in my prayers, I'm going to remember him and whispering good counsel. These are the things I said I would do. It wasn't selected to just a few. It was selected to those who I found worthy and well qualified. That was to them. But what we have done, we have selected. We have put ourselves in such a box until we can't even enjoy the craft. This is what we have done. And I want to thank for everybody for tuning in today. We're talking about, do you know who you are? Do you? I don't care if you're part of the Grand Lodge of Ireland. I don't care if you're part of the UGLE. I don't care if you're part of St. Mark, St. Anthony, St. James, PHOP. I don't care. This is bigger than you. This is actually bigger than you, but you have taken it. And what you've done, you have slaughtered Masonry in such a way to people can't even really enjoy it because they're trying to navigate a road that you have put down to put people in boxes. I'm asking you to come out the box. I'm asking you to explore Masonry and all that it has to offer with the instruments that has been handed to you as you explore it. That's all I'm saying. If you don't explore it, then how can you explain it to someone else that asks you to tell them about Freemasonry? You can't, because you haven't explored it yet. And the same thing goes for a sister. If someone came to you and said, hey, explain the Order of the Eastern Star to me. I'm thinking about becoming a member. Can you actually do that? Or are you one of those individuals that says, you know what, let me get back with you?
Well,
that tells me you haven't explored it. That tells me you never knew in the beginning. That tells me that you're one of those card-carrying members. Yeah, that's all it says. If you can't break it down to a person in layman's term, you know, even I had that difficulty when I first started out. I'm just going to be honest with you. I did. Tell me about the order. Tell me about the Freemasons, Brother Tony. I was like, oh, shit. What am I doing? Oh, Gim, here you go. Freemasonry teaches allegories and symbols. It's a beautiful morality. What does, can you give that to me in a simple term? That's what I want. And a lot of us hadn't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet. Please check in on the seniors in your area. If you're down in Texas, please check in on the seniors in your area. Check in on the seniors in your lodges, in your chapters. Make sure they're okay, and try to get them the assistance you need. Thank you. I just want to make that announcement. Anybody getting ready for the SDCC convention in Orlando next week? I'm not sure what the convention is, but if you want to post it, you're certainly welcome to do so. Greetings from the Bahamas. How you doing? Yeah, so what I'm trying to convey today is that when you get to the nitty gritty, where the rubber meets the road in Freemasonry, it's going to shock some of you only because of what you have been taught. Because what I talking with Brother Simply, I have to laugh at myself. In talking with him, I've learned that for me, it is my goal as I deal with my brothers of the craft is to become more of the educator, not a teacher, but the educator, because there's a difference between being a teacher and an educator. And I got that from him. And he gonna laugh at me again today. Go get his book. His book is out right now. It is called The Lessons. It's called The Lessons. And if I'm not mistaken, the title is What They Don't Want You to Know. That's the title of his book. What They Don't Want You to Know. I could be mistaken, but I believe that is the title of his book, What They Don't Want You to Know. All right? The Lessons. All right, so I'm going to do something on this book here soon. Let's see what we got here. Got it. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. Quiet Storm, how you doing? I was talking with a sister, Jess, the other day. Last night, as a matter of fact. She gave me a call, and her father was one of the first Grand Masters of Prince Hall Grand Lodge here in California. Not only that, he was the first one to issue a dispensation to one of the lodges here in San Diego. And J.A. Thompson, number 10, if I'm not mistaken. But even with that being said, we got to realize that in listening to her, how excited she is and wanted to be a member of the Order of the Eastern Star because of her grandfather, because of what she's seen and how she was able to go into it. So it's a beautiful thing. It's really a beautiful thing, but we got to be able to understand that we have to. For those of us who call ourselves Masons and Eastern Stars, we got to be able to pass that olive branch. You can't tell me what you're about and then you can't pass the olive branch. You can't do it. You can't do it. You know, as much as you'd like to try, it is impossible to tell me something, then you can't pass the olive branch. You can't do it. I was speaking with another brother, and he was explaining to me that he was no longer a Mason, but he's thinking about getting back into it because he want to see Masonry from the point of view of the way I explained it to him about, outside of the box. He said, man, I want to get that. I want to be outside the box. I don't want to be I want to be able to travel freely. I said, you can. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Nothing at all. But we who are Masons have to be able to gather that and to do that. You can't do that sitting behind a computer talking about people all the time and they're this, they're that. You can't even do that. We need to concentrate on how we're going to be better for those who are around us and wanting to see them come up. If you don't want to do that, then what is it for? What's up, Brother Vincent? How you doing now? Hope everything is well with you in Texas. If I'm not mistaken that you're still there. Hope everything is well with you. For sure. I think I can see it right here. Got it. Nope, I'm just going to show it. Thank you. All right, brother JJ, I see what you tried to post. I'm going to see, can I show it, okay? I'm going to see what we got. There you go. I appreciate that. No problem. Hey, brother Vincent, I'm thinking about making you a moderator. You know, if you don't mind taking it. My signal being tripping. If you response to my question, sorry I missed it. Black Entertainment, I didn't catch your question, but I'll go back and see. I'll go back and see it. I didn't catch your question. But as we continue to gather the information that's going to help you to be the best Mason, the best Eastern Star, you have to ask your question: who am I in this gumbo soup of Freemasonry, in the order of the Eastern Star, for lack of a better word? Who am I? As I started off asking earlier, the question to the Eastern Star: are you a member of the Order of the Eastern Star? That's singular. The question to you as a Mason is that, how shall I know you to be a Mason? It doesn't say John G. Jones. It doesn't say mainstream. It doesn't say UK. It doesn't say any of that. It says, how shall I know you to be a Mason? Period. And when we started to view things from that, then you're going to find out who you are. That's where you're going to find it at. You're not going to find it because somebody tell you, oh yeah, he a Mason. No, they didn't tell me he was a Mason. I know I'm a Mason. She didn't tell me I was an Eastern Star. I know I'm an Eastern Star. When you know things and it's factual, nobody needs to be able to tell you who you are, because you know who you are. And too many times we wait on people to identify and tell us who we are as individuals who are in this thing called the Masons and Eastern Star. And so many people put different things out there about the organization that are not good. You know, you're devil worshippers, you do this, you do that. And people put that information out there, and that's not really who we are at all. But that is what's out there. And we who are members have to be able to say, no, that's not who we are. Now, granted, sometimes I do play with it. Sometimes I do play with it. But every time I ride a goat, I play with that. I ain't even lie to you. I do. So those things we have to really start to consider. So look, let's see. I'm gonna go back and catch some things here. More than willing. Okay, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. There you go. I appreciate that. You are it. You are it, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on and following. I appreciate that. Hit the like button. And if there's a particular topic you would like to discuss or have, you're certainly welcome to come on. You be making a lot of sense, big dog. Thank you. I appreciate that. BJ Black, what do you mean by what does it mean? If you're asking the question, what does it mean to be a Mason or Eastern Star, that's different than the question I'm asking. Do you know if you are a Mason or Eastern Star? Do you know whether you are or not? So those are two different questions, but if that's the one you're asking, I don't mind answering it to you. I don't mind answering it from my particular, how you doing, from my position. Know thyself. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Never wait on anyone to solidify who you are when you know who you are. Stop waiting for somebody to say, yeah, yada, yada, yada about you. You can yada, yada about yourself. Pat yourself on the back sometime. Give yourself a hug. Say, job well done. You know? Okay, John. Yeah, we can do that. White Knight Assassin. Oh, now that's a mouthful right there. That's a mouthful right there. So look, everybody, I'm gonna have to get back in. I appreciate you joining me once again. Hey, join us live on Wednesday. I have Professor Kumba is going to be with us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on, if you want to join us live on the Zoom, hit me up. I'll add you to the Zoom where you can be live with us. And if you have questions, you can ask questions right there. Professor Kwame, you know, he's a dynamic professor in regards to African culture and history. And he just returned from the continent of Africa. So we're going to be having this conversation on Wednesday. So please join me. And it's been great so far. And peace, be well, and blessings to you. Whatever you do, stay at the bushes, keep your light on. I am your study guide. I'm here to help you study, but I'm not your study guide, right? Man, what a heck of a day. Oh, it's beautiful too. It's a beautiful day today. Peace and be well. I'm out. What's up, money? How you doing, man?